ICCA rankings are announced annually by the International Congress and Convention Association. It is based on the number of rotating international association meetings hosted in a particular destination. ICCA now is one of the most prominent organizations in the world of international meetings. It is indeed, therefore, a reason to celebrate the fact that the city of Johannesburg continues in its climb up in those rankings. In 2012, Joburg jumped 92 places from 234 to 142, and in 2013 clocked in at 136. Well, to discuss further, I'm joined by the Deputy Director of Communications at the City of Johannesburg, Nthatisi Modingoane. Welcome. Great to have you on the show.
Thank you, Noshini, and it's a great pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much. This is an astounding climb in rankings for the City of Johannesburg. Certainly, it speaks volumes about the city's capabilities to host these international association meetings.
Yes, the city is very excited with the improvement. Just between 2012 and 2014, it's more than 130 something rankings that we've jumped. And it augurs well. And it says to us, we are doing something right. We are investing properly in terms of infrastructure to make sure that people view Johannesburg as one of the destinations where they can come and meet.
It's certainly a position not to be taken for granted, and it doesn't happen overnight. We had to work hard, I'm assuming, to get to where we are today.
It's not easy. It's a challenge that other cities in the world are facing. Because what you have to do, you have to make sure that there's proper infrastructure, be it telecoms, be it basic infrastructure such as water, power, etc. And the venues themselves that are coming up in Johannesburg, like your certain convention centers and other venues that are capable to host some of these meetings. And people from international countries want to get comfort that where we're going to meet is a place that will meet all our requirements, because they need to constantly engage with their fellow counterparts who are still based abroad. So we are comfortable that the work that we've been doing and the work that we continue to do, because one of the things that we're striving for, as the mayor puts it, it's to create what we call a smart city. What is a smart city in our view? It's a city that can be able to, using technology, make access to services quicker and nearer to the people. So the city is investing a lot of money in rolling out the broadband. We are unveiling some of the Wi-Fi hotspots throughout the city of Johannesburg. And we are saying, yes, at the moment, some of these meetings are happening in your historically suburban places. And we're saying maybe in a few years' time, we'll have some of the meeting happening in formerly townships areas, such as your Soweto, your Alex, your Diepsloot, and so forth. But without that bulk infrastructure on the ground, those townships are still isolated. And as we talk about what we term the corridors of freedom, where we want to stitch the city and make sure that we bring places of work closer to the people and people closer to the places of work, we're putting a lot of emphasis in infrastructure development in some of those previously disadvantaged places.
I think interconnectivity is key to attracting more international association meetings, because we need to increase our level of connectivity, given that we're now living in the age of technology. And everybody is keen to know how far are we when it comes to that rollout.
It's very key, because what we know when we talk tourism, in Johannesburg is that people do come to meetings and other activities, exhibitions and so forth. But most of the people would say, before I leave, I want to go to Soweto, for example. and see Vilakazi Street as the only street where two Nobel Peace Prize winners stayed. And how about improving that connectivity so that people then, instead of coming to Sandton only and having that meeting, take the whole meeting to a place like Soweto, so that it's a walking distance.
That
for
makes
them
perfect sense.
to experience some of the
It makes perfect sense. That's how we're going to open up the hospitality sector as well.
Yeah.
Is there any incentives in place to actually encourage small business, especially when it comes to the hospitality sector, to work on those areas? Incentive from local government to work on it, and also inadvertently they will be playing that role in also attracting the tourists to their relevant areas.
Now, as part of the ongoing efforts to partner with all role players, we are identifying opportunities and incentives that we can look into. One of the challenges for smaller businesses in this space is a key area of marketing, for example. The city is doing a lot of work in trying to put some of these small businesses in the global map so that they are known, they are recognized, and people wanting to engage with them can engage with them. But going forward, as we partner and we build this tourism sector of Johannesburg, we will be able to look at other opportunities to be able to take these businesses forward.
I think it's very heartwarming to receive news like this, because we often get so caught up in our own challenges, and certainly we have a lot of challenges when it comes to building the city, developing it further. But it is really heartwarming when it comes to looking at this and to see how Johannesburg has really lodged itself further up in those rankings. What is the future ambition of the city to improve those rankings further, and how ambitious are we in the space of attracting international association meetings to Johannesburg?
The city continues to go out there and submit bids to say we want to host you, because we want to build a city that is friendly, that is welcoming, that is really a city that the world would aspire to visit. And we continue to go out there and solicit these bids. And between this year and 2019, we are looking at more than 10 meetings that we have confirmed that are coming in Johannesburg. But in between, there will be others. But just to give an example.
How hard is the bid process, or how convincing do you have to be?
You have to be really convincing. As I said before, some of these bids are not just sitting there where you bid by yourself. You bid against top cities in the world. And you need to really demonstrate the ability in terms of infrastructure, in terms of the people of Johannesburg. Because one of the things that is key about Johannesburg is people. People would want to come and interact with Joburgers, and we are grateful to Joburgers for that.
What would you say, what would you say has to be your strongest selling point when it comes to the bid process?
The strong selling point for us is really our efforts that we are putting in place in terms of building the infrastructure. But it must be noted that it's not to say all the infrastructure is being built by local government. We value partnerships. There are a number of business people that have come and put up amazing infrastructure for meetings. There are investors and business associates that come and identify opportunities in Johannesburg and come and really invest in Johannesburg. And those businesses as well, they work with us when we go out on the bidding platform to say.
Yeah, those partnerships are important.
They're very important because government alone will never be able to convince.
And the incentive there is that this is a market to be in right now. The incentive for the business sector is that if they want a piece of that pie, because of the economic benefits that will flow out of these meetings, they also have to, leverage themselves up and be more competitive and come up with innovative ways that will play into your bid process.
Yes, it's very important for us. And for us, we are so excited that one of the big gathering will be happening in Johannesburg in October, the Eco-Mobility Festival.
Yes, yes.
This is the second festival to have happened. Yeah. And the city of Johannesburg on the first attempt to bid for that.
I was at that launch event, and it was indeed exciting news for the city.
The city was given a nod. But for us, it's important that we start a conversation with the people of Johannesburg. We know that there are concerns from other businesses and other people that reside in the vicinity of Sandton to say, won't it inconvenience them for the month of October? But we're saying, if we start the conversations now, because
it's for them to also look into the opportunities to tap into that space.
Because what we did a couple of weeks ago, we invited businesses that have ideas that they can put into the program to say, for example, you might be a businessman that would want to run the tuk-tuks to ferry people around Sandton during that month. We're saying, come forward. Let's look at the viability and how you can make economic benefits for yourself.
Speaking about tuk-tuks, we need more tuk-tuks in the city of Joburg.
We do.
We need a lot more tuk-tuks.
And there are other business opportunities in the space of cycling. There's other business opportunities in the space of eventing.
And cycling is also a tourist event. People come to cities, they want to get on a bicycle to see the city. It's a healthy way of actually going around and seeing new places.
It is, and we are excited that this is happening, and we want people of Johannesburg to start talking and show the world that they are welcoming, and welcome those guests that will be coming, and show them hospitality that we are known for. And then another big event happening in December is the Afri-Cities, where cities will be coming from the continent. If we remember some weeks ago, we had some unfortunate incidents that's hit Johannesburg and some parts of KwaZulu-Natal. And we want to show and demonstrate to the continent that not all people from Johannesburg are Afrophobic or negative and so forth. We want to welcome all these African brothers and sisters and have a ball in Johannesburg.
Well said. I think these setbacks that you mentioned, they really should serve as leverage and impetus for us to look at our own values and look at the lives, the quality of our lives, and also to push us forward and to open our doors, open our hearts to the world, and invite them in to South Africa.
When the mayor did his State of the City address a couple of weeks ago, the mayor emphasized one point to the people of Johannesburg, to say, we are all immigrants. Johannesburg is a city of immigrants. Even if a person can say, even if I can say I was born in Soweto, in Bara, but my ancestry comes from places like Lesotho and the Free State. So Johannesburg was built by people that moved.
I think we all have foreign roots in one way or another, including myself, if we have to trace back those
roots. If we have to trace back. So what we're saying is that let's show that. Let's show that and not come in Johannesburg and claim it as if we own it. Johannesburg is a city for everyone.
Very important message behind today's discussion. Thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure.
Thank you very much, Nashina. Thank you very much.